The first thing to know is that what was just said is not true. Bullshit. It's all just made up. It's all made up.
Jesus. I bet you smell fine. So my initial idea, I used to do this performance where I would pretend to the audience that I was making a film, and that way then you get the person to film the whole thing, but you can do really unusual things. You're pretending of the things you're going to cut in. So I could like get Cameron to film you and have you all react, and then like segue in where I'd just be like, welcome to Kingston University. Oh no, that one didn't work. And I'd kind of prepped it so that Bella was going to put makeup on me and I was going to pretend to like, I don't think like, but I cannot be bothered, to be honest. I've done it before and I've been lecturing today so many hours. Some of you in the room have had to deal with this. So I'm not going to do that because just as I was thinking I was going to do it, it struck me with this suspicion that maybe I was doing it so that you'd all like me. Because it's like quite a safe and funny thing to do. And then I thought, why do I fucking care what you all think of me? I didn't really think that. I just thought, you know, I've done it before, I shouldn't do it again. And then there's other things that happened. I do care what you think about me. I mean, who would pretend that they don't care what a group of people thinks about them? I'm not that naive. But also when I was outside and I was thinking about what I was going to do with this 3 or 4 minutes that I've got to talk to you, I also saw a couple out there looking at our exhibition while you were all in here, just as I passed Matt, who came into the toilet, I think, with an Australian greeting. I opened the door and he walked in and he was like, hey! As though that's like normal for going in the toilet. And it was just before this incident over here that will probably spiral into an argument later where you said he smelled bad. It doesn't look like he does smell bad. So I saw this couple and I was thinking I'll do this little play and it'll be funny and I'll cut it later. But what happened was that the fellow walked really close and the lady covered her face with her hands and went, why are we fucking waiting here? Obviously trying to stop herself from getting the bugs. And that in my head kicked off something to do with what I was doing when I was an undergraduate at university, which has come back to me a lot recently, and I don't know why, because for about 10 years after this time I never thought about it at all. But at the time, as some of you know, I used to be a professional mixed martial artist and a doorman. And what used to happen a lot on the door, because it was in Newcastle, is I used to bash people quite badly. And it was really bad. I've changed a lot. But this, at the time, connected with something I got in a lot of trouble with when I was a child, which was one day my parents had painted the back of their house white in Cornwall, it was in Newquay, where I grew up. And also at the time, I happened to have this plastic Halloween mace. It was blunt. You know those toys they sell for kids that are like axes and stuff. And it was a mace. And this wall was painted, and they left me at home for the day, which I think I was about 10, but you know, times were different back then, especially with my parents, that's a whole other story. And it was Daddy Longlegs season. So you can imagine what's happened. They've come back, and my dad has hit the roof. He's not put his hands on me, but it wasn't too far away, because the wall had to be completely repainted with me smashing these Daddy Longlegs into the white wall. And we've gone outside, obviously put up artwork, and there's all these bugs. And the thing is, when I was a doorman, one of my favourite techniques was to hit people in the ear. I probably shouldn't be saying this on camera, but it would have been much worse if I got one of my students to put makeup on me on camera, so this is probably better. And what I would do is hit people in the ear. And the big thing is that if you're going to fight with someone, you've got to make sure that they don't know they're about to be hit. So you don't want to stand in a fighting stance, you want to be square. And if you want to be square, the best technique for that is something called a double hip, where you knock your left hip forward and then your right hip swings through. So if you're facing someone here, what I would do is be like, listen, there's no problem. And it would hit them on the side of their head and sometimes burst their eardrums. I probably bet. I don't know, because I wasn't there afterwards. And in that kind of environment, you don't really follow up with people, because obviously they were a threat to me or something like that. You tell the police afterwards. And so now, in my mind, when I'm thinking about doing this stupid film idea, I've got the bugs, I've got the memory of my childhood, I've got the double hip, and I'm thinking, instead of doing a film idea, I'll just teach the audience how to do the double hip. Okay, so one more time for all of you. So you, oh, my time's run out. Thanks very much.